The average age of a successful high-growth startup founder isn't 20, it's 45. If you feel like you've missed your window because you're over 40, you've been looking at the wrong data. Today we are breaking down the 10 empires built by people who didn't even start until their 40s. Let's get to work. We start with Eric Yuan. At 41, he was a vice president at Cisco. He had a high-paying, safe career, but he saw a flaw in video calls that no one else was fixing. He didn't just have an idea, he had 20 years of corporate scars. He knew exactly why other platforms failed because he had watched them fail for 2 decades. When he launched Zoom, he wasn't guessing. He was applying 2 decades of data. This is the late starter advantage. While a 20-year-old founder is still learning how to manage a team or read a P&L statement, a 40-year-old founder is already executing. Age isn't a limit, it's a shortcut that saves you 10 years of trial and error. Then there's David Baszucki. He co-founded Roblox at 41. Most people assume the metaverse and gaming are for the youth by the youth. But David used his maturity to build a complex social ecosystem. He wasn't chasing a viral hit for next week. He was building a platform that would last for the next 20 years. He had the patience that only comes with age. In your 40s, you aren't trying to get rich quick to prove something to your friends. You are building foundations. David's story proves that you don't need to be a teenager to understand the future. You just need the discipline to build it. Every year you spent waiting was actually year 1 of your market research. Now let's look at the heavy hitters. Sam Walton didn't start Walmart until he was 44. He had spent 20 years running variety stores, learning the boring details of retail. By 44, he didn't just understand sales, he understood logistics. He used middle-aged math to outcalculate the competition. He didn't work harder, he worked smarter by using his history. What's remarkable is that Walton built this empire starting in his mid-40s. He had already owned and operated several stores, learning the business from the ground up. By the time he founded Walmart, he knew exactly what worked and what didn't. His decades of experience in retail weren't preparation for something else. They were preparation for Walmart. Sam Walton proves that starting later doesn't prevent global impact. In fact, starting later can be an advantage when you're building something that requires deep operational knowledge, industry relationships, and understanding of customer behavior. Walmart wasn't built by someone fresh out of college with a bright idea. It was built by someone with decades of hard-won wisdom. Success after 40 is about operational excellence. You've seen how businesses break. You've seen how bosses fail. By the time you start your own empire, you aren't making rookie mistakes. You are applying a lifetime of logistics to a new vision. Walton didn't have a head start on age, but he had a head start on wisdom. Martha Stewart launched her first major lifestyle business at 41, transforming home cooking, design, and entertaining into a multimedia empire. Today, her brand spans television shows, books, magazines, product lines, and digital content, all built after age 40. Stewart didn't come from a media background. She started as a stockbroker, then became a caterer. But she had something more valuable than industry connections. She had a clear vision of what American homemakers wanted. She understood that people didn't just want recipes or decorating tips. They wanted aspiration. They wanted to believe their homes and lives could be more beautiful, more organized, more special. Her first book, Entertaining, published when she was 41, became a bestseller. From there, she built Magazine Empire, a television show, product lines at major retailers, and eventually became America's first self-made female billionaire in the lifestyle space. Her brand became synonymous with quality, elegance, and attainable luxury. Even after legal troubles and setbacks that would have ended most careers, Stewart rebuilt her brand and remained relevant into her 80s. Her story shows that you can create something enduring starting in your 40s, and that reinvention is always possible no matter what obstacles you face. Age didn't limit her creativity, her business sense, or her ability to connect with audiences. It enhanced it. Another person is Bill Porter, who founded E-Trade at 54 years old, revolutionizing how people invest online. Let that sink in. 54. In an industry where youth is supposedly everything, Porter proved that vision and execution matter far more than age. Before E-Trade, investing was something you did through a traditional broker, paying high fees and commissions. Porter saw the potential of the internet to democratize investing, making it accessible to everyday people rather than just the wealthy or connected. He took retail investing digital long before it became mainstream, creating accessibility for ordinary investors who wanted to manage their own portfolios. The impact was enormous. E-Trade helped launch the online trading revolution that has now grown into platforms like Robinhood, Webull, and countless others. But Porter did it first, and he did it in his 50s, when conventional wisdom says you should be thinking about retirement, not revolutionizing an industry. Porter's story demonstrates something crucial. Impact doesn't have an age limit. Innovation isn't exclusive to the young. Sometimes the best innovations come from people who have lived long enough to see the problems that need solving, who have the patience and persistence to build solutions that actually work. At 54, Porter wasn't past his prime. He was just getting started on his most important work. Then there is Sally Krawcheck, who built Ellevest at 47. After a distinguished career on Wall Street, including senior positions at Bank of America and Citigroup, she could have easily retired comfortably. But she saw a problem that needed solving. The financial services industry wasn't serving women effectively. Using her decades of Wall Street experience, she built a fintech platform specifically designed for women's financial goals and life circumstances. Ellevest now manages billions in assets and has empowered hundreds of thousands of women to take control of their financial futures. The platform accounts for the fact that women often have different earning patterns, longer lifespans, and unique financial challenges compared to men. Krawcheck's story is particularly powerful because it shows how decades of industry experience can be leveraged to create something innovative. She didn't need to be a 25-year-old coding whiz to build a fintech platform. What she needed was deep knowledge of finance, understanding of customer needs, and the credibility to attract investors and users. All of that came from her years of experience. Starting Ellevest at 47 wasn't a disadvantage. It was the perfect timing. She had the knowledge, the network, the resources, and the vision. Her age gave her authority and trustworthiness that a younger founder might have struggled to establish in the conservative financial services industry. Why is 2026 the year of the late starter? Because AI has leveled the playing field for technical skills, but it cannot replace judgment. A 20-year-old can generate code, but they can't generate the 20 years of human intuition required to know what to build. Your advantage is context. You've seen the fads come and go. You know what lasts. Ray and Silva launched Beauty Blender and achieved mainstream success in her 40s. Today, her brand is a cosmetic staple for both professionals and everyday consumers. That distinctive pink sponge has become one of the most recognizable beauty tools in the world. Silva was a makeup artist with decades of experience in the industry. She understood makeup application in a way that only someone with years of hands-on experience could. When she created the Beauty Blender, she wasn't following a trend. She was solving a problem she encountered every single day in her work. The unique shape and material provided flawless application in a way traditional sponges and brushes couldn't match. Her success proves that late entrepreneurship works in creative industries too. You don't need to be young to innovate in beauty, fashion, or design. Sometimes the best innovations come from people who have spent years mastering their craft, who understand their industry intimately, and who can spot opportunities that others miss. Silva's decades as a working makeup artist weren't time wasted. They were research and development for what would become a revolutionary product and a multi-million-dollar brand. Another excellent individual is Hushar Dubey became CEO of Match Group in her 50s, overseeing some of the world's most popular dating platforms including Tinder, Hinge, and OkCupid. Under her leadership, the company scaled dramatically and monetized globally, proving that leadership and innovation can absolutely peak later in life. Match Group's suite of dating apps serves millions of users worldwide and generates billions in annual revenue. Dubey didn't build these platforms from scratch, but her leadership transformed them into even more powerful businesses. She understood technology, consumer behavior, and global markets in ways that only come from decades of experience in the tech industry. Her story illustrates an important point. Success after 40 doesn't always mean starting from zero. Sometimes it means reaching the leadership position where you can have the greatest impact. Dubey's journey to the CEO role took years of hard work, learning, and proving herself. By the time she reached the top, she was ready, not despite her age but because of it. She had the experience, judgment, and strategic vision needed to lead a complex, global technology company. So what do all these stories teach us? Let's break down the key lessons that apply whether you're 25, 45, or 65 years old. First, age isn't a barrier to success. Not even close. Every single person on this list achieved their greatest success after 40. Experience, insight, and persistence matter far more than youth. While the media loves to celebrate the 20-year-old founder, the reality is that most successful entrepreneurs are actually middle-aged. They've learned from failures, built networks, developed expertise, and gained the maturity to make good decisions under pressure. If you're over 40 and you're starting today, you aren't late. You're right on time. Everything you have done up to this point, the wins and the brutal losses, has been training for the empire you are about to build. Comment, start, below if you're ready to prove that success has no deadline. Second, timing and execution matter more than being first. Many of these founders leveraged their existing expertise to spot opportunities others missed. Eric Yuan saw that video conferencing could be better. Bill Porter saw that investing could be democratized. Sally Krawcheck saw that women needed different financial services. They weren't necessarily first to market, but they executed better because they understood their industries deeply. Third, action beats hesitation every single time. Starting late doesn't mean starting small. These founders built billion-dollar companies after 40. They didn't let age convince them to play it safe or think small. They pursued ambitious visions with the same energy and commitment that any young founder would, but with the added advantage of experience and wisdom. Fourth, reinvention is always possible. You can pivot careers, switch industries, or launch entirely new ventures at any stage of life. Martha Stewart went from stockbroker to caterer to media mogul. Arianna Huffington went from author to media entrepreneur to wellness advocate. Your past doesn't lock you into a single path. It provides the foundation for whatever comes next. And finally, your experience is your competitive advantage. Everything you've learned, every skill you've developed, every relationship you've built, every failure you've survived, all of it has value. The years you've spent working aren't wasted time. They're your R&D. They're what will help you spot opportunities, avoid mistakes, and build something that actually works. If you're watching this and wondering if you're too old to start something new, I want you to really absorb what you just saw. 10 incredibly successful people, all of whom built empires after 40. Not despite their age, but in many ways because of it. Take inspiration from these entrepreneurs. Pick one idea today, maybe an AI tool, a fintech app, a creative product, or even a side hustle. It doesn't have to be a billion-dollar idea right away. Start small, learn as you go, and iterate. Test your assumptions. Talk to potential customers. Build a minimum viable product. See what works and what doesn't. Your 40s, 50s, or even 60s could be your most productive and profitable years. Think about it. By this point in life, you likely have industry knowledge that younger competitors don't have. You have a professional network built over decades. You understand how businesses actually work, not just in theory but in practice. You've seen economic cycles, market changes, and industry transformations. All of that is incredibly valuable. The only thing holding you back is hesitation. It's the voice in your head saying, "It's too late," or "I should have done this 20 years ago," or "I'm too old to start over." But that voice is lying to you. The evidence is overwhelming. It's not too late. You're not too old. The best time to start was 20 years ago, but the second best time is right now. Every single day you wait is a day you're not building toward your goals. Every day you let age be an excuse is a day you're choosing to believe a limiting story about yourself instead of the truth, which is that you have decades of experience, wisdom, and capability that can be channeled into something extraordinary. What would you attempt if you knew age wasn't a factor? What business would you start? What problem would you solve? What creative work would you pursue? Stop letting age be the reason you don't try, and start making it the reason you succeed. If you enjoyed these stories and found them inspiring, hit that subscribe button for more business and entrepreneurship insights. Share this video with someone who needs a reminder that it's never too late to succeed. Maybe a friend who's been hesitant to pursue their dreams, or a family member who thinks they've missed their window. Remember, the best time to start is now. Not tomorrow, not next year, not when circumstances are perfect. Now. Your breakthrough could be just around the corner. The question isn't whether you can succeed after 40. The question is, what are you going to build? These 10 entrepreneurs proved that age is just a number. Now it's your turn to prove it to yourself. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video where we'll explore more strategies for building the business and life you want, regardless of where you're starting from. Now get out there and build something amazing.